What is up? What's going on, guys? Trizzle here, tuning in, bringing you guys another great war recap. I've actually been going through some of my old videos, to be honest with you, and I found a lot of goodies that I haven't actually gotten a chance to put on the channel. So I thought to myself, I can't dump this stuff. This is some really good quality footage. So what I went ahead and did is made up, instead of Throwback Thursday, it's going to be, man, I don't even remember that war Monday. Alright, so just kind of bringing it back to some old school stuff. To be honest with you, I don't even know how long ago this was, but as you know, it is the Legion doing its thing, winning wars like we always do. Alright, so without running my mouth too much, let's go ahead and let's get into it. Alright, what is up? Trizzle in the house. It's been way too long. Take a little bit of a break from recording the war recaps. Just had a lot going on with work, but we've also been going through quite a bit as a clan. Had a little bit of a rebuilding phase that we were going through. We had some of our top Town Hall 9s leave the clan about 2 to 2.5 months ago. You know, so it's been a little bit of a process in getting back to a state of glory, so to speak. You'll notice that, you know, as we kind of skim through here, a lot of red, which is not indicative of the goals of our clan as a whole. But luckily, we are making strides in the right direction, which is why I wanted to at least get into another war recap. This war was probably the most exciting war that we've had in a while. Came down to the very end. They were able to clear a majority of our bases, ending up with 58 stars. Looks like an Asian clan. Can't really quite make out what those characters are, but it's something GMU. Right down to the end, this one. Luckily, I was able to pull off a 3-star in their #1 base. Which was the culmination of the war. So starting with the very top, just going to get into these attacks and let's see how it goes. This is the infamous boner. I know there's a lot of how do I say this? I don't want to call it a controversy, but there are some, you know, people, you know, school of thought, you know, minor bowler attacks, spam in nature, but this is definitely a little bit of a hybrid attack. Obviously, you know, you go in with the heroes and bowlers on the front end with the rage, followed up with the miners adjacent to the kill squad. Main goal of this attack, especially on this base layout, got to get that eagle and the clan castle taken care of ASAP. Once that's done, it's pretty much just sit back and heal your miners. Once the first half of the first objectives go down, it's pretty much, you know, easy street from here on out. You just heal your miners, making sure you're focused on the higher objectives. You know, obviously your Inferno towers. Keep an eye on those expos, any double giant spots, any remaining heroes, and that's pretty much it. I prefer to bring 2 minions in terms of cleanup with this army, 1 rage and 4 heals with the double poison. So again, this raid, came down to the very end. Super exciting. To be honest with you, I'm not sure we would have won on percentage, so I was really ecstatic when I pulled this out. Alright, and last but not least, the town hall goes down. And the crowd goes wild. Alright. Now, I don't know if I should show you guys the next attack. Not really proud of it. I ran a bowler army on a weak Town Hall 11. I attacked the wrong side and got a crappy 2-star. So We'll get into some other attacks. Here we have Kilroy taking out Max Town Hall 9. Kilroy only wars pretty much on the weekends, but he's still, Max Town Hall 9 capable. One of our stronger Town Hall 9s. I can't emphasize enough just how important it is to get those heroes up. One thing that I can note, if anybody ever sees this base, this general setup is called a Town Hall 9 Four Corners base. And whenever you see that, guys, all you need to do is run a 4 golem go wee wee. Split your heroes on each side, and just sit back. You kind of use your spells, the rage and heal, to speed the army along the sides as they circle the base. The whole point of the golems are meant to absorb those, the expos as the army works their way around, and then they just converge, jump spell, you heal into the core, and then that's it. I guess the queen retargeted because of the CC troops, which kind of caused her to get taken out early. But nonetheless, being that this is such a strong raid, because this base layout does have a fatal flaw, easily takes it out, with troops to spare. And good job, Kilroy. We needed everybody on this war. All right. Here we have King Ida doing a bully attack. Yeah, I know it's Town Hall 11. Probably not going to spend too much time on it, but 3 stars are 3 stars. And that is the name of the game when it comes to clan wars, gentlemen. Do not let anybody tell you otherwise. One of the things that has brought us to the level of warring that we typically, try to be at, is the prioritization on stars over ego attacks and glory, so to speak. Basically attacking within your ability. Obviously, if you're able to clear max bases, by all means, there's very few people that play this game in a fair play, manner that can take out max bases. It's something that is very difficult, regardless of, what you see on YouTube, regardless what other people will tell you. As a Town Hall 9, attacking a max Town Hall 9, until you get your heroes up, until you have a good understanding of the game, it really isn't an easy thing to do. It's so important, especially when you're starting at Town Hall 8, to get those fundamental rates down. You need to learn how to go wipe. You need to learn how to use hogs. Once you get up to Town Hall 9, most people, they have a choice to make. Do I go with air, and stick with Penta, or do I kind of, go down the hog or Valkyrie branch? Nowadays, we do have a lot more options as a whole, but in terms of, ease of upgrade, Laloon will probably be your quickest, access to be able to clear a Town Hall 9, a max 9, but it isn't, for every base. You will have certain bases where, the air defense is not exposed, and because of that, being able to snipe that AD, which is so important with Penta, sometimes that becomes difficult. The other thing is that in war, typically smart clans will run, a air expo, in which case, it just makes it that much harder, since they buffed the expos and the DPS did actually go up. Another base being cleared by Kilroy. Good job. Getting in that shattered action. Yeah, it takes a long time to get your accounts mature, guys. If you're not, putting money into the game to kind of accelerate that process, it takes a while to get those golems up. It takes a while to get those heroes up. It's why people, put time and energy into things like, farm bots. Quick point of discussion. I know yesterday Supercell actually rolled out their bans for third-party apps. Luckily, no one in our clan, plays the game that way. I mean, I don't know really why you would, but a lot of clans felt the heat, especially the top war clans. I know a lot of Vietnamese clans. Half of their members are gone. Basically, it just kicks you and you can cry a river to Supercell. From the research I've done, they are not caring. Your accounts are gone. When I look at some of the videos on botting it, it kind of pisses me off because, with a computer program and with a couple options set, they literally can go from 0 to 100 real fucking quick. And that account, walls, heroes, the things that, are grind, the things that separate, the dedicated serious players from, the also-rans, that's what, really keeps people in this game. It's such a long-term game that the longer you stay in it, the higher you want to push, not just in, your upgrades, because, your defensive upgrades really isn't the purpose of this game. Yes, it is a means to an end. As you progress through the game, upgrading your defenses becomes, part of the overall process of moving through the game, the story. But in terms of attacking, defense is not gonna win you raids, and that's why I always advocate, keeping your offense ahead of your defense. That way, you're never gonna be in a situation where you're not able to clear bases and farm accordingly. I believe in push farming. A lot of people might not say it's the most efficient thing, but when you think about you're killing two birds with one stone, in some ways it is the most efficient way of playing the game. What I typically do, I try to approach my multiplayer attacks when I'm in global. I push as high as I can, basically, making sure that I use 3-star armies every single time. I aim for the 3 stars no matter where I'm raiding, whether it's war or in multiplayer. And that way, in combination with the loot bonus from the higher leagues, plus the star bonus, it pays for the army. And then the fact that we war back to back, you can get quite a bit of loot from farming. My second and third accounts, I haven't put any money into it whatsoever, and they're slowly getting there. I'm not gonna lie, I wish my my second account was a little bit further along. As you can see, it's got level 10 king, level 8 queen, which is nothing. Does have a few upgrades. I've got max penta, level 4 dragons. I just started my level 5 hogs, so I'm excited about that. Here we've got another bully attack. The Town Hall 8s this time around were a little bit on the weaker side, but we have some weaker bases at the bottom of our map too. So I'm just going in with a double zap quake, mass drag against a Town Hall 8. Alright, so easy base to clear. Probably won't go all the way down to the bottom of the map, especially as we get into some of the easier Town Hall 8s. A couple bully attacks, just because, again, this clan wasn't really... I don't know, their 8s weren't that developed, and, it really did end up... I wouldn't say costing them the war, but, they had... They made a mistake in their calculation. There was 2 Town Hall 9s that needed to be cleared at the very end, and a Town Hall 8, and unfortunately they chose wrong. Ended up leaving one of their Town Hall 9s to be cleared, and all they had left was Town Hall 8 and basically Town Hall 7 attacks. So thank God for that, because it gave us the win. Okay, here we've got another bully attack. Again, Gladiator King and Geo. They're Town Hall 9s. Well, I wouldn't say that. They're 8.5s. Gladiator is a 9. Geo is an 8.5. Geo's been on the clan almost since the beginning. Been a long-standing good member. Got into Town Hall 9 probably about 8 months ago, maybe 9 months ago now. And has been that key component and making sure that we have, the depth at the top Town Hall 8s. We have had some ups and downs in terms of the Town Hall 8s that we have, and as of now, some of our better Town Hall 8s that used to be Max 8 capable, they took a break from the game. So we're just now getting back to that point where our Town Hall 8s are capable. But anybody who's played this game for a really long time knows that it's very much a work in progress. It takes a long time to get your clan leveled up in a way where you have dedicated, serious, committed players, people that are all rowing in the same direction. They understand the overall, I don't want to say theme of the clan, but the goals of the clan. And they have that held in high esteem and high. It's one of their priorities as well. So again, another bully attack. Geo taking out a weaker Town Hall 8. I'm gonna zip through these because I know that these attacks, do these dragon attacks. I'm gonna say you see them one, you see them all, but since they're so similar, we don't need to spend a whole lot of time going through them. But good job, Geo. Good job, Gladiator King. Great job, Kilroy. Good job, Dennis, as always. I would like to make a small special shout out to Dennis. He's stepped up quite a bit, especially after we had a couple of our top Town Hall 9s split off, and he's been one heck of a co-leader. He kind of steps up, has my back, makes sure that the clan is being run the way that it should. So I appreciate your hard work, Dennis. This one was my third account going in. Had to take out a weak Town Hall 8. Pretty much easy attack, set your funnel, and then it's sit back and wait for the 3-star. A lot of people, when they're first getting into dragon attacks, they tend to deploy them very close together all at once. They don't spread them out, putting them one on each structure. And I'm not gonna lie, I will say that maybe 1 out of 25 dragon attacks, it's not ideal to have a spread out deployment, but across the board, putting one dragon on each structure is definitely the way to go. Making sure that you aim your loons at the air defense, so that way they get taken care of. Yeah, other than that, this was again a weak clan in terms of their Town Hall 8s. They upgraded their walls, their archer towers, but for some reason their air defense, I guess they're working on them. So easy raid, good job, Dennis. This is his second account. 3-star for the good guys. Alright, so moving right down the line. Oop. Guess this is another 3-star by me. I'll zip through this quick, guys. I know these are weak 8s, but as you can see, the point I'm making with the deployment, get that nice funnel, set your bookends, then you lay down your middle dragons. I like to run CC loons along with 4 loons that I would bring, and that usually is a little bit better, in my opinion, than running 8 loons. But again, easy base, no problem. Drags handled their business. So moving right along, I'm probably going to cut it off here soon because the bases do start to get a little weak. We've got one of our newer Town Hall 8s taking out a horrible Town Hall 8 base, in my opinion. I think it's a new 8, but it's just one of those things. All right, I can't tell you guys enough, how important it is to follow your upgrade tree. Making sure you keep your offense ahead of your defense. Always start, especially when you're talking about Town Hall 8, which is where the game, really starts to begin ramping up in terms of difficulty. You start with your dragons. You get your bread and butter done. You learn how to 3-star with that. Once that's done, you gotta get your hogs up or your go wipe up. Just keeping in mind that your hogs, they're going to be more of the higher skilled attack. It's going to be more preparatory for your Town Hall 9. But all in all, they're still all required. When you think about viable 3-star armies at Town Hall 8, not every base can be taken out with Dragloon, even with the new Earthquake and Raid spell meta. It's one of those things where certain bases, will just be stronger against a particular attack because of the layout or whatever the case may be. So here we have Travis taking out number 16. A little bit of a rough attack, I'm not gonna lie. Had this been a decent Town Hall 8, it probably wouldn't have ended that way, just because when you have the air defense left alive like that, it's almost next to impossible for the drags to path back to it without getting slowly worn down into nothing, and still be able to clear the base. But since it was a weaker base, he was able to take it out no problem. And good job, Travis. Alright, so we're coming up on the end here. Like I said, I don't really want to get into the bases that are just a waste of time. Yeah, this will be the last one I'll show. I'll zip through this one. Again, Town Hall 8 Dragloon, 2 Lightning, Earthquake for your air defense, Rage to take out the remaining 2. CC Loons, again I prefer 4 Loons, 9 Dragons. And then it's very, very, very powerful raid. I will say this, a lot of people, they kind of feel that, you can, as you upgrade your Town Halls through the game, it will become easier because you'll get stronger troops. Do not fall for that misconception, guys. As you progress higher, the game becomes harder because even though you have access to stronger troops, the DPS, the defenses that you face, that also goes up, so you have to work on your fundamentals. You have to practice. I mean, if you look at my profile, and I'm not trying to brag here, I have 1,268 war stars, but those stars come from, the hard work that I put in while I'm push farming, while I'm getting my 3-star attacks in, on max bases. So that being said, glad to be back. I'm going to try and keep these war recaps a lot more, frequent. Get our content out there. And I'm also going to be finally putting together this YouTube channel. I know it's been a long time coming. I've made some promises to the clan for several months now, but I am going to follow through. That being said, guys, I appreciate, again, all your hard work. We've got to get this streak back, guys. We got to get the green, on the warlog. Got to get rid of that red. So this war, it's going to be a tougher one, but we should end up pulling it out. I'll just throw that up real quick. Okay, yeah, they've already pulled out, they're 50, but we're, we always close out wars, so even if they had 52 right now, we're still within range. With them still being able to clear Dennis's base, I expect that maybe to have them get another 4 more stars, maybe 56, excuse me, which it would still be very possible for us to win. So thank you guys for watching. Trizzle tuning out.